Christians, my dear sister here, Denise, who tells me to hold on, Sparky. Anyway, Denise here, my sister here, she says, you said we are in the millennium. Yes, we are in the millennium. And then she says, so Satan must be in the abyss right now. And how can he be if he's running around right now? And then she says, too often your theology doesn't add up. My theology adds up. The problem is with people and their brains not calculating the equation and coming up with the answer that goes to it. So here, you said that if we are in the millennium, that means that Satan must be in the abyss right now. How can he be? Because he's running around. The false understanding, what is misunderstood by you, my sister, and everyone else who doesn't understand Satan, the nature of his binding, and the circumstances that being in the abyss conveys. The idea that you can bind a demon or bind Satan with a physical chain so that his movement is restricted is what you don't understand. You look at the binding of Satan being in the sense of the way you look at a human being in a prison, put in a cell. This is different. Satan is still wielding his influence, but his influence does not restrict people from believing the truth. And that is the nature of his binding. His inability to keep the truth from being believed by those who are confronted by his wicked and devious and deadly doctrine. Satan is therefore bound by circumstances. But what you also fail to understand is that even when it says, even when the Bible teaches that he will be bound for 1,000 years, which is a symbolic number for an indefinite period of time, even when it says that he's bound, you have to understand that even during the millennium, as talked about in Revelation chapter 20, it says that during that time, he will be loosed for a little season. So you have to explain what the binding and the loosing of Satan looks like in reality, if in fact during the millennium he is bound in the abyss for a period of time and then he's released for a period of time. So because your problem is this, he is released for a little season prior to the ending of the millennium. So you have to explain what that means and how that takes place. Because my explanation is very sensible and logical and consistent with the word of God. He will be let loose to deceive. In fact, when we go back to Revelation, I believe it's Revelation 13, verse 8, and I could be wrong, but I think it's Revelation 13.8. And if I got it right, I will have it on the screen as you are watching this. But the binding of Satan has an end included in it. The binding of Satan is a justification to an end. The binding of Satan results in, or is the means whereby he is no longer able to deceive the nations. And so the evidence that Satan has been bound is the fact that the nations are no longer deceived. Gentiles are coming to faith. I know that all of you people out there, many of you Christians, believe in a Da Vinci Code Christianity. All these puzzles and enigmas that have to be solved, like in National Treasure or the Harry Potter movie or the Left Behind series. You all are trying to find something fantastic and puzzle solving, but you're wrong. It is very simple. The binding of Satan is the binding of his ability to deceive the nations. That is the whole point. But there's going to be a time during the millennium, which we are in, where he is going to be loosed for a season where he will set about to deceive the nations in full strength and full vigor once again, which means it is going to result in a great apostasy. Jesus talks about it in Luke chapter 18, verse 8. When he returns, there will be virtually no faith on earth because Satan would have been loosed, which I believe he has already been loosed. And I believe that apostasy is on the rise right now. So there you have it. Be provoked and be persuaded. Sparky.